Hello everyone, it's Tracey. Welcome back to SkatKatz. Thanks very much for joining me. It's Tracey Tuesday, and this week I'd like to launch my Christmas extravaganza. That's right, from now until Christmas, every Tracey Tuesday is going to be a Christmas inspired project. Hopefully to inspire you and get you into the Christmas spirit. I'm going to be using my Silhouette Curio too. So my first lot of projects is some Christmas table decor. I'm using designs from the Silhouette Design Store. A cutlery holder, a napkin holder, and a place card holder. The links to these cutting files in the Silhouette Design Store will be linked in the description box of this video and also in the Facebook post. So let's get started with the first project. I'm going to be doing a cutlery holder made from felt. So you can see me here, I'm just loading the debris tray onto my Silhouette Curio 2, locking it in place, and I'm going to show you the rotary blade. So this is not a pointy blade like we're used to, this is a round wheel type blade. Just giving you a look there. And this goes in tool holder 2 on the Silhouette Curio 2, also the Cameo 5. So I've got my program open here and I've imported this shape from the Silhouette Design Store into my design mat. And you can see I've got the media set at landscape, but I do change that. So I'm just here deciding where I'm going to put my lines, finding it a little bit difficult to see, so I'm going to change the colour of the tree to a lighter green. And I'm going to make lines in the centre of the tree, horizontal lines, and this is where the cutlery will go. So this is where I've decided I want to make the tree bigger, and so I go portrait. So I'm just messing around here, getting the size right, and then I start playing with these lines again, the cut lines. Just playing around, making sure that I'm happy with the position of where these cut lines will go to hold the cutlery. I'm then going to send it to the cut screen, and the first thing I notice is these other marks outside the Christmas tree design. And at first I didn't know what this was for, but it's to enable the rotary blade to change direction when it needs to. So before I send it to cut, I'm going to put some transfer tape down onto the sticky mat. This is to protect my sticky mat from the fibres from the felt. I don't want my sticky mat to have felt fibres on it. And this was a tip I picked up off Ali May from Silhouette Secrets Plus. So I'm going to stick that felt onto the transfer tape and send this to cut. So the Silhouette Curio 2 is going to cut this out. I found this quite fascinating to watch. I had never used a rotary blade before. This was my first time. So when it comes in to cut, it'll do a cut, then it'll go to one of those arch shapes so the blade can change direction, and then it'll cut the next line. Then it'll go to the arch, change direction, and then it'll cut the next line, and so on, until it's got all of the design cut out. So as I said, I'd not used the rotary blade before, so this was new territory for me. So I was a little bit naughty here, and I did not do a test cut. So I wasn't quite sure that the force that I had selected here was the right amount for felt. I've got it set to 30, and I've got my fingers crossed that this cuts all the way through without any issues. When you go rogue like that and don't do test cuts, you've got to bear the consequences of your actions. So I was hoping that I had it all okay here today. So I can't stress strongly enough, do not follow in my footsteps. Always do a test cut. You'll save yourself time and material. So it's finished cutting and I'm going to take it off the mat, and hallelujah, it cut perfectly. It's not always the case for me, but in this case it was. So I'm just taking it off the transfer tape, and I'm very happy with how this has turned out. Then I'm able to take this transfer tape off my sticky mat, and my sticky mat's preserved without any yucky felt fibres on it. And here's how it looks on the plate with the cutlery. Love the way this turned out. So it's time now to move on to my next project, the napkin holder, which is also available in the Silhouette Design Store. This was a cardstock project, and I continued on using my Silhouette Curio 2 with the cutting mat inside the debris tray. So you can see here I've got the design on my mat, just arranging things, making sure I've got the settings correct. before sending it to cut. So you can see now the Curio 2 is cutting out the cardstock. I have missed some of the footage here, sorry about that. I get a bit distracted in my craft room sometimes. So you can see that I've got the sticky mat inside the debris tray. As it was set up for the felt, I just left it that way, just working more efficiently without having to change to the electrostatic bed. And that's just cutting out the pieces for the napkin ring. Just giving you a different look there. I am cutting out additional pieces here. It's to go on to the next project that will match the napkin ring. So it's just cutting all of that out. And then we'll return home and I'll take these pieces off the mat. So I've got the pieces out here and I'm putting them together. So this napkin ring goes together very easily. I'm going to put this little tree together. So what we do is we're just folding the pieces in half. All of them. There's a folded line, a scored line that you can fold along. And then they'll be stuck together. So I'm just showing you here, I'm just one side of that Christmas tree gets stuck to the next piece, just half. And then join them all half by half until it's all joined together. So you can see how it's coming together. So go ahead and join all of those pieces until the Christmas tree is complete. So it's that last piece going in place. And that gives that Christmas tree the 3D look. Then I'm going to glue the white piece onto the napkin ring. Like so, just glue that into position. Holding it in place until the glue dries. And then that Christmas tree will get glued on the top. The easiest thing to glue this on with is hot glue. So I'm just putting hot glue on the base of that tree and then sticking it in place on the napkin ring, like so. Then I put it through a serviette and put it on the plate, and I love how this turned out. It's time now to move on to the last project, and it's the place card holder. I've got all the pieces cut out here on my mat, and I'm going to put this together. This piece here that I'm gluing, I did run this through an embossing folder just to give it a bit of texture. The embossing folder was just one that I had in my stash. You could use anything that you liked. You could also cut this out using decorative cardstock or designer series paper, whatever you like, as long as it was strong enough. Just to give it a different look altogether. I just stuck with the traditional colours that I was working with to match in with what I had already made. So the cutlery holder, the napkin ring holder and this place card holder, so they all matched in together. This gold cardstock that I'm using is a gold brush metallic. It's cardstock that I've had in my stash for a long time. So sometimes you just have to use up the stash that you've got. And this was my case here. I had a couple of sheets of this left and thought I'd use it up. So that cute little box is done, and now it's time to put the decorative panels in place onto the part that's going to hold that box. This little box is the perfect little size to put in a little gift for your guests. You could put a Lindt chocolate, you could put a Ferrero Rocher, you could even put a small gift like earrings or cufflinks would fit in this little box. Just something to elevate your Christmas table. You can see the box goes on top like so. Now I did lose some footage here, I do apologise. I did cut an extra tree and that was to go on top of this little box. So you can see how that's coming together. For the part where the name goes, I decided to cut mine from gloss vinyl in the black. My handwriting's not very neat, so this was the perfect solution. Just weeding that and I'm going to apply some transfer tape to it and apply it to the white oval shape there. Just taking it off the backing and just eyeballing it here before applying it and giving it a good burnish, and then removing the transfer tape, and it's turned out just beautiful. Ready to go in place on the place card holder. Just using some double-sided foam tape and a little bit of glue on the back of your foam tape gives you a little bit of wriggle room. So I'm just eyeballing that before sticking it down. And the place card holder is finished and it matches the napkin ring holder. Love the way these have turned out. So this is what it looks like on the plate by itself. Perfectly matching the napkin ring and also the cutlery holder. And this is them all together in place. So that's my video finished for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching and that you feel inspired to make some Christmas table decor for yourself. Don't forget to check the description box for the links for the products I've used. Thanks very much for watching today. Have a great day, and until next time, it's bye for now.